Howdy all, Mojang Lives. I think it's time to play a little Minecraft. Alright. They did add a new block I want to build real quick. Shouldn't take too long. Because it's just a few planks. Whoops, that's too many planks. And some stairs. I know, that's what I want to build right there. Calm down. I'm going to build it. That's why I put this stuff in my inventory. Wham. A composter! Although, I was a little more excited about it until I read how it works. Like, it seems like a great add-on, right? Like, composter. It's gonna make, what's it gonna make? Bone meal. That's right. Bone meal. And so I'm like, oh, okay, bone meal. Alright. That seems... oh, I put it right in front of my gate. Yes, that's where it needs to be. How about you go over there? And so I'm like, oh, well, that seems pretty cool. I mean, who doesn't need bone meal from time to time? And so yeah, that seemed pretty cool. But it only works with plant material, which I mean is fine. I mean, it's not like you can't make automated plant things. Where's my beetroot seeds? There they are. But you know, what about all that zombie meat I have? Why can't you include zombie meat in that? I hate zombie meat because there's like almost no use for it, right? Like there's no... I mean, maybe there is. Maybe I just don't know. But as far as I know, it basically is just there. You can eat it. But there's different levels for the composter. And so beetroot seeds are pretty low on the thing. And so not everyone will give it. There's a 10% chance. We should get some bone meal here. How much did we get? Seriously, 1 bone meal? That's a lot of stuff had to go in here to get 1 bone meal. Alright, well there's my composter. With some bone meal. Alright. So how did we do on getting some sandstone? We did alright. Oh, right, I got the illager banner I want to add. I don't really have a place where I keep trophies like this. I guess we'll stick it back here. There we go. There's my illager banner that I got from conquering illagers. I don't want to put it over the middle one because my middle map is already too small. I already need to add another row over here, so I just have to assume this map is going to need to get bigger and bigger. I'll probably have to build a map building for it at some point because we're just not going to have enough room on the back wall of my garage here. Alright, and then let's go ahead and we'll sneak through here. Splooshy sploosh. Yeah, it's, well, man, this... I'll tell you what, I can't wait to get out of cold season. This is like I think before Christmas, was it before Christmas? Yeah, because this is only January. So what, like 6 weeks of October and November, I think, maybe December, I had a 4 different colds, I think I figured. There was a point in there where I couldn't even talk. Oh, let's going on there? What did you do? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I dug too off in the wrong spot there. That's just weird. Also, why did I dig the dirt out from underneath that? But I mean, it was inevitable that I got another cold because uh, my niece has started into kindergarten this year, and so she obviously brings home the plague from the plague children there, and I mean, it's not really the plague. It's not even that bad. It's just a itchy throat and a little stuffy head. I haven't actually taken anything for it today, so I probably should have. I think I'd feel better if I'd. Oh right, I was gonna use cut sandstone, right? And I believe everything is 3 blocks thick. So hallway is. Oh, I'm gonna have to count this out. So we've got outside wall, gap in the middle, inside wall. Okay, and then we've got wall. Uh, well, this is also gap in the middle, inside wall. So then we've got one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then it should be wall, gap in the middle, and wall. And so I was thinking we would do a wall of this. Ooh, you know what would look really nice is I get some red sandstone in here to break this up. I need to go get some red sandstone. Now, where would I... I can't tell if that's... I feel like I'm off by one. It looks like I'm off by one. Oop. Dang, fast tools. Okay, so then this would be... This would actually be one of these. And then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 space, right? These wouldn't be here. Well, I mean, it could, but it would be... no, technically this is through here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is that a single space? That seems like 2 spaces. So like that's not right. Because it's actually this, right? There we go. Alright, and then we do something similar on this side. I don't know why I'm wasting my sandstone like this, but on this side, we would come over one more. There we go. And then this side comes out a little too far there. All right. And then, what am I going to do about this part? Like, I don't think I'm going to run floor to ceiling window here. I could, but I think we'll do at least 1 block different here. So that gets us laid out to hallway. So let's go ahead and get this side in. Okay, and then Oh, good. I wasn't sure I'd be able to remember how to make this. So we got chiseled, whoops, get out of there. Chiseled, chiseled. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then from this side it's just until we get there. Okay, so now I need a floor for it, because obviously we're not going to hop down on the grass to get through here. But I do want to go get some red sandstone, so I'm going to run back. I'm going to unload my inventory. We're going to head back out to... Oh, I want to show you what happened to my nether anyways. I don't quite understand what happened, but I was out just wandering around yesterday, and my niece was playing Minecraft. She likes me to show her all my stuff, and so I was just zooming through my nether, and I noticed there was a slight problem going on in my nether. In fact, my nether tried to kill me. And it may kill me yet. We'll have to see. There's been an issue. But we can get out to get some. I feel like I'm not running. Why are you so slow, guy? I don't even know if this bouncing thing makes you faster anymore or not. It used to. It feels like it does, right? It's like just randomly use up my... stamina for no reason. Oh, I still had those beetroots I could have shoved down the gullet of that, Why is there a potato in there? Oh, this cough drop's gonna make me sneeze. Oh, I might should get some more arrows too while I'm here before I head off to fight things in the desert. Because last time I went to the desert, I got attacked by illagers. So let's run down and grab some arrows, and then we can head off to see what happened in my nether. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand this. So, you know, doing the D&D game, since I like to talk about D&D like every episode of anything I do anymore. And I'm running the D&D game, and so they get to a new town, and I'm like, all right, so this is a fortress town. We're doing kind of a sci-fi thing, and so this is a fortress town, and so the one part of the town is where the civilians live, and the other half of the town is where the military has their base. And the town is actually fortified on one side of the town because they're not fortified against things coming from inside the country, but basically outside the country. Not really a country either, just a small, like, couple 100-mile range. And so they've got the train system that ends basically at this town, and so they're headed to a town north of this place, but it's not on the rail line. Obviously, they don't really have the technology anymore because it's post-apocalyptic to build said train lines, but they can take advantage of one that didn't get destroyed. Okay, so now you gotta watch careful here. Something has happened, and part of this got overwritten. I should have brought some rail lines with me, but there are missing blocks, which is why it might kill me. I'm not sure. We're going to see if it'll let me ride across them again. But there are missing blocks, and there was lava pouring down at one point, and part of it's just replaced with netherrack. I don't know why. And I watch today, it'll just be... Nope, look. Missing blocks. There are no blocks underneath of that. There's supposed to be blocks underneath of there. And then here, I don't know what happened here, but lava is pouring down from up there. And I don't know why that was. Come on, get back on the track. And then there's another spot here, no blocks underneath. And then this was just like completely overwritten with nether. Well, not completely, just partially overwritten with netherrack, like it had been poured into the tunnel. And then you can see here where it did replace part of the tunnel. I don't know what happened. It's weird. That's the only spot though, was just that section of the tunnel right there. Like I guess one chunk or maybe two chunks there. I haven't even been in the nether, so I don't know. I mean, I went through to go to the desert, but I didn't come down this far. So I don't know why that part would have been overwritten. But it was. Okay. And then we're going to need this because I only have one cart. Whoa. That's the other thing that's happened. The carts vanished, and then when I run into them with the other cart, they appear. Go figure. That's what you get for playing on experimental patches. Anyway, so I'm describing the place, and I'm like, yeah, there's like a wall across the military side of town. You have to go through checkpoints. You know, the wall along the one side is like 60 feet tall, and there's like gun emplacements, and inside the military section are like artillery cannons facing out to the west, and then, you know, all along the street there is stuff that caters to soldiers' bars and, you know, stuff like that. So the kind of rowdier side of town, maybe, but then on the east half of the town is where the regular civilians live, and they don't get as much interaction necessarily with the military area. It is, however, a major area for the... Oh, look, there's another cart just appeared. For the... where they drop off grain, and because of the way the little country is set up, like, I looked up how much farmland you have to have, and all sorts of stuff. So, you know, I try, not like insanely, you know, I like to spend a couple hours researching stuff before I laid out my world, and I use like a real map, and then I just covered over it, and I moved some of the cities around that exist in those places in real life, and I'm using the real life names. Sometimes when they ask what a place looks like, I'll post a picture of the actual place. I know one of them asked if there was anything interesting, so I looked up the town, and they have a famous cemetery there, so I posted a picture of the cemetery, and, you know, and so I'm doing all that, and you know, and then like, well, the civilian part of town, the train station is directly in the middle. Half the train station would be in the military district, half the train station would be in the civilian district, because both of them use it equally, and it's just easier if they have the military checkpoint for the train right there on the station platform. And so the train, of course, stops in the civilian end, but there is a immediate way down for military, and then you know, the cargo section is split about half and half, so the military can load and offload any military equipment that's been sent by train. Because there aren't trucks. There just aren't trucks anymore in my world, and so they can't make. I mean, they can make fuel, but they can't make it in enough uh, volume, I guess. Not a lot of oil production, you know. They didn't have refineries there, um, and because there's only a handful of refineries in the United States, and none of them are in this area, and so the only things that are left are things that run off of other powers, basically. And so they have a few solar based things and whatnot. But so the train is a major thing that gets between the fortress cities and the capital city. Uh, and so they took the train, and then they got the train, and I'm describing it to them, and one of the things I said was like the town square in the civilian section is fairly large. It's paved because it is based off of old world technology that's still in existence because the area didn't get hit by anything, and so there's mostly it's for traveling merchants set up stalls in the town square unless there's some kind of festival going on, and so they there's a few left because they didn't get there till nighttime. And I'm like, there's a couple. It's not very big. Nothing's really big because they're rebuilding civilization. They're not, at the height of civilization. There aren't 20,000 people that live in the area. They couldn't feed 20,000 people in the area, and so. Maybe eventually they could, but they're not there yet. And so they mostly live as farmers. Most people are probably farmers, and handcraft. It's D&D, so there's a lot of fantasy level technology going on. There is magic, thanks to alien technology. But not very many people have access to it. And so most people just get by working by hand to keep themselves fed and whatnot. And I'm going to throw these out. So I described that there's some merchants still there who haven't closed up shop yet, and there's a couple of restaurants and a couple of inns and a couple of bars, and then there's this street that runs along the military district that's got a lot of bars. I assume, I don't know. It's my world. I'll make it up how I want. And so then one of them asked what the town square looked like, and so I told him all that, and I told him what all the city stuff looked like, and then. Okay, did I not leave a... Oh, you tricksome devil. And so, okay, so now what I gotta do is I gotta bump the other one here. There it is. Actually, I need to take this one back, because I need this one to be on the other track. And so, they didn't post anything yesterday in our D&D game, and so I'm like, so what are you guys gonna do last night? And so I get up today, and one of them posted, or no, yesterday morning, one of them posted, I want to look around for something to eat, and so that's why I told them all that stuff, and then, oh no, they asked what the town square area looked like. So I told them all the stuff what the town looked like, and then they posted, well, I want to look for some place to eat. And I'm like, okay, well, I just wrote down that there are restaurants and street vendors and bars. You kind of got to pick one. And so then I went to bed, I get up this morning, and I see one of them posted last night. I think we should probably look for some place to eat. I'm like, I already posted information on where you can eat. Just scroll up and read it. It's all right there. It's like 2 paragraphs. And and so then I one of them gets on later this afternoon, and they're like, "Oh, you dug up too much." And they're like, "Oh well, maybe I want to look for a place to eat." I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me at this point?" You, how many times I gotta write down what's there? I want to give the town another look over for anything interesting. I'm like, I already described what the town looks like from where you're at. You have to explain to me what you would find interesting. I don't know what you'd find interesting. Would you find that they have a tailor shop interesting? It might be interesting to some people, but I don't know anything about your character because we just started this game. The other guy's like, I want to look around for any shady people. I'm like, you're standing on the main transport hub for a heavily guarded ancient artifact. Uh, Basically half in the military district. That's one of the few places in existence that still has electric lights everywhere. Um, what kind of shady people do you think are going to be here on the brightly lit, heavily guarded train platform? Maybe you want to go down to the bars, like, and look for shady people there. We can work with that. You know, there are blocks missing on either side of that back there. That could totally get hit as I go through by gas. This whole area is built like this to stop gas from shooting me as I travel long distances through the Nether. Um, but and I never did finish the ceiling. That's supposed to be glass like the floor is down here. This is a project that I got partially built to the point where I could use it and then abandoned it like everything else I do. Uh, so, uh, so I'm like, I'm just like dumbfounded. I'm like, hey, I gave you a list of places where you could eat, but you gotta pick one. I'm not gonna walk your characters in there for you. You have to make the choices, and all three of the current players are like this. Most of the time, is they talk about what they'd like to do, but they don't actually say what they'd like to do, and so they'll be like, all three of them have said, "I'd like to find some place to eat." Not not my character goes to the restaurant, but in quotes, because their players are talking out loud, maybe we should find some place to eat. Maybe we should look around for some place to eat. Maybe we'd like to get a bite to eat. All in quotes, all with question marks. That is not a declarative statement saying what your character is doing. I can't do anything until you declare what your character's doing. Uh, we'd be a little farther if they would just declare things instead of constantly writing in out loud statements that their characters make. Uh, uh, oh man, and then I was talking about the other D&D game where I'm a player, um, and our DM for that one's a terrible cheat, and uh, some days I just get so irritated I think about just quitting playing because of how bad he cheats sometimes. And so our current fight is one of those he's cheating terribly. We're in the jungle and roll a perception check, which is, a perception check is how well do you look around, how well do you smell, how well do you hear. And so okay, I didn't bring a floor. I was gonna get a floor and I did not bring a floor, and I don't think I want this red sand as my. Why won't you make a. Fine. But I was wondering if I couldn't do. How do you do the other fancy sandstone? I don't know how to make I don't know how to make the other kind of sandstone. Where's the sandstone with the writing on it? What is that? Oh, is it done with slabs? It might be done with slabs. That's sand, buddy. You can't do that with. Okay, slabs. Oh, chiseled red sandstone. That's it, right? That's the kind with writing, or not? I think it is. I think that's like a little scorpion right there, right? Maybe. I don't know. I like it. I like it. I'm gonna make a bunch of that. I don't know if I'm gonna put it there. I might put it up a little higher. I was thinking maybe we do it up here. Although this would be way easier if I had a floor. There we go. Oh, I left all my other stuff in the raw. Oh, man. Note to self. Gotta bring all your stuff here. Need to put chest in here so I can keep my ingredients that I'm working with here, rather than take it all the way back to my base because I never remember to bring it back with me. And so we're getting attacked by these guys, these goblins, and I rolled a 25, which is really high. So to me, a 25 means I see these goblins, and I will be able to deal with these goblins. And in D&D, there is a... Okay, let's go ahead and put this around the door. I kind of like surrounding my doors, but we'll... Maybe we won't put... Whoops. Maybe we won't put that there. And we'll end it at the door like that. And then... Whoops. And so these goblins come in, and he's like, oh, well, you notice them, but you don't notice them until they get within attack range. I'm like, okay. 25, the highest number anybody in our group can currently get for perception is a 26. The highest the goblins could roll for stealth is a 26. So, they definitely didn't break or beat my score, because the goblins didn't roll a 26 because you didn't just flat out say I saw them, or that I didn't see them, and so obviously, I did see them coming in. You know, I'm doing this, and I don't think I like it. I don't think I like it hanging over by the doors like that. I think I'm just going to take that right out. And so, will you get in there? So I'm like, oh, okay. So it's going to be one of those fights. And then he's like, so do you warn everybody? I'm like, of course I warn everybody. And then he tells me, oh, well, warning everybody takes all of your turn. So that's your turn. Except talking's a free action in the game. That means that I could do that without it taking up my turn. So I don't understand why I didn't get a turn. So then he attacks, and then uh, uh, oh, and then he attacks, and then he says the goblins hide, and then he says we have to roll to see if we can find the goblins, or else they're hidden and we can't attack them. And So then he says that rolling to find the goblins takes our full turn. So now I can't find the goblins and I can't attack the goblins, but every turn they're going to come out and attack us. And so I'm like, all right, let me see what my other guy can do when it gets to his turn. So he took 2 turns without any of us being able to do anything against the goblins. And so then on the next turn, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to waste another turn trying to find these guys. That's just ridiculous. And so I've got a spell, and the spell does area effect damage, and so it'll hit everything. And so I throw this AoE, as it's called, out. And the AoE, I roll the damage for it, and I get max possible damage, 24 damage. Now they can roll to take half damage instead of full damage, but I did get 24 points, and so half damage is 12 points. And alright, now here's the time where I need to make some chest and leave this sand here so that I don't have to leave it all at home. And so I tell him I throw it high enough in the air to catch all the goblins, because goblins are stacking on top of each other, and which is unique for this campaign. Goblins don't normally do that, but in this particular adventure they do. And but they're just goblins, and regular goblins only have a maximum of 12 hit points. So I'm thinking, yeah, here we go. Let's see. Is he cheating and they survive, or is he not cheating and I've just killed off the stack of goblins, leaving just the one boss goblin behind? And the answer is, he's cheating. 2 of the goblins died, 1 of the goblins survived somehow, even though it can only have a maximum of 12 hit points. The book says they have 2d6 hit points. So I'm not exactly sure how a goblin survived taking 12 to 24 points of damage when he can only have 12 hit points. But he did, because, you know, the game is the DM tries to kill you, not regular D&D like normal people play. But yeah. So now we got this boss guy to fight, and we got one other goblin who didn't manage to go into hiding this time. And I just gotta wait for one of the other guys to take his turn, and then my guy can take his turn, and then we'll be good to go for fighting the goblin, because, you know, every day is a fruit and an attack, except today we've had 2 fruits and 2 attacks. So because it makes it interesting. No, you're playing it different than the book says it's supposed to be played, and our game of exploration has turned into move 1 hex on a map covered in hexes and get told what fruit you find and then get attacked by something every day. I swear we've been playing this since September, and we've moved 8 squares. Because every day is... I mean, he literally didn't post anything from the 18th of December to the 16th of January. He did, the DM. All the rest of us were posting. We were just waiting for him to take his turn. So, yeah. Alright, well, I'm going to call it here. I still got to figure out what I want to do for the floor in there. I've got the sandstone. I got to pick back up my sandstone, but I've got sandstone and orange. So I need something that's going to go with sandstone and orange. That would be a floor color. And I don't know. So, alright, click like you like, subscribe, share, and catch the next one, and I will talk to you later.